You don't mind if I film this, do you?
No.
Well, my name is Sergio.
I know Sergio.
And let's see, there.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so it's pretty much about. This is the flyer. Yeah, I've had a ridiculous time ever since I got out of a state mental hospital back in 2013. I had some issues with Hennepin County. I was in the Hennepin County mental health court system, right outside of commitment, statewide commitment, but I had an issue with a probation officer. Female probation officer, there was a level of flirtation. I tried to back off from it. I did rather recklessly and foolishly, although it wasn't really criminal. It was more of like an issue that needed to get swept under the rug, so they placed me on a statewide commitment. I went through that, but then through that I came across a lot of weird kind of corruption, kind of unprofessionalism within the state hospitals. I was in St. Peter State Hospital. I was released back to my hometown of St. Paul. When I started looking for an ombudsman, I actually got in touch with her, and within a day or two I was released back. Well, actually back to Hennepin County Jail, but I waited a few days and they released me out on commitment. I made a mistake in calling that former probation officer. They put me back. I didn't know at the time about the commitment process. I wanted my time done. They put me through the commitment process. The public defender I had wasn't really very forthcoming with when somebody's new and they're going through that, they don't tell you too much. So I kind of got it was a horrible ambush I had when I was in Anoka. Somebody told them to set me up, start saying stuff left and right, make my emotions flare up. Makes you just want to. Any little thing that comes up, eventually, you're probably gonna snap. So I wound up snapping. I punched one of the staff there. They were just waiting for that. Made me pump full of this horrible drug called haloperidol. A drug that was commonly used in Russia when they used to dissidents speak up. It was clean way of torture and reset somebody's mind or whatever. I went through all that. Anyways, so I went through that in 13, so I was released to a house. The community was pretty quiet. I went through that. I had an overdose of alcohol. Went to a place called Baxter. I went to a detox. I had a horrible issue. Type of assault back in 2010 I wasn't even aware of. Seems like a lot of that was dug up for political purposes. I went through that. I went to near Brainerd for treatment. It was worked through with my mother because we were all disappointed. I was supposed to go back home after the Anoka episode. After the Anoka episode, I was released to a halfway house, and that was where I had the alcohol overdose. So I went back to the detox. Then I went up north to Brainerd. It was worked out with case management, my mother, Hennepin County. Went through that. Went to a Four Winds Native American treatment center. Doing all right, but there's issues with the staff there. That's actually where problems began where I started noticing that was indeed political. I don't know. I guess they figured because I was native that I would just shut up or something. They started getting bothered when I wasn't exactly going on with the programs as rigid as they are. Small nuances, I have to further detail with those for the paperwork. But so I went through that. I was released in late 2013. I went to another halfway house. I noticed small things like there was a man who was oddly in our driveway. I came home with my brother one day. He said he was working on some pipes in the back or something. Kind of occurred to me later, man, the dude was doing something with surrounds in our house. And I don't know, not much happened throughout that. I got off commitment in following March of 2014. So I got off that, and I got out of the halfway house, no more nothing. Nobody could tell me nothing. Came back home to my mother, which is actually why it makes sense that they would have the house surveillance. I was always kind of a loudmouth to them, I suppose, and everything I knew with that PO, which is kind of embarrassing to them. I started cleaning myself up because I was under the influence of that horrible drug Haldol. I couldn't really do a lot of stuff. It was even hard to speak. You know, personalities really jacked up. You have to find your mind and your spirit. I was doing that in the community. Within a few weeks of actually, when I got out of up near Brainerd, I started noticing people in the community, little lookalikes and stuff. Almost as though I was being studied. Actually, I noticed that all the way back in early 2011 when I got out of a treatment center called ADAP. I spoke a lot about things of they even brought up. They asked me about childhood sexual abuse. I told them some of the stuff I went through. Shortly after that, I started noticing like a lot of people trying to probe. At the time, I was real big-headed. I didn't care, and anybody studied me, and I was looking for attention anyways. But fast forward that all the way to around 14, I was done with any type of system. Until I was out of their treatment centers, commitment. I didn't want any probation. I was done. I had some problems I was already dealing with. They were dropped. Cleaned up my life. Tried to help my brother, or my mother, and be the family where I was always supposed to be. So I started doing that, and during that time, I thought about pursuing the issue with the probation officer, because I thought, well, it should be fair that my side of the story comes up, maybe I could get that charge dropped, which I started to do, and I didn't really plan on backing off, and that was really difficult though. Ran for a hollow. And actually, as a matter of fact, I even went downtown Minneapolis trying to find counsel. And there were more people trying to set me off, kind of like similar to the hospitals. Protocol, like something must come out about me, threatening their little system. I kind of backed up from that, met some old acquaintances, got into a fight, got beat up, didn't bother me, picked myself up. Tried taking off for Florida, but on my way down to Florida to try to start a new life, I figured I was being followed, more people studying, based kind of what I was talking about, the stuff off of 2011, sexual abuse, whatever. I guess my story was just way too intriguing. People thought they could own it or something. Who am I to be walking around or something after all that? Am I going to kill people? Am I going to do this? Oh, let's make them do that. Try to talk to people. They play the thing as a game. I could beat them up, then I face more jail time. I don't want to do any more time, especially given through what I've already been through. It's hard to find any answers from anybody. Even my own father, my own mother, they think it's a game. I don't know what happened to them. I believe my little brother was ridiculously assaulted by somebody. Even he won't talk to me. House is under surveillance. The rest of the family have all just taken sides against me. Anger, I guess, for talking about sexual abuse or something. But the way they dealt with it was just horrible. They could have just, I don't know, beat Sergio up, beat him up. He's talking too much. I didn't even get that. I got this weird studies program everywhere I go. State of Minnesota, Florida, Oklahoma, or Illinois, here, there, everywhere I go, it's just all over. A lot of these therapists, I think, too, stepped up and they threw a lot of my personal info out. This is ridiculous, especially when it's not, innocent family members get assaulted and targeted for that. Me, I could deal with, but that's what I'm going through. That's really That's why I thought it should, it would be kind of understandable maybe if I just hung those up here. It's a place for natives. I mean,
So, let me talk about the papers and being here and why we can't allow that here. Now, I ain't talking about your case, your life. I give you the benefit of the doubt, but your case, I believe 100% you. But we know that we do have members here who are unhealthy, who are paranoid, who are schizophrenic, who we know that there's some, we have some, we serve some here, many, that your flyers could be triggers for them. So if you look around and look at our flyers, we don't put up things like that. We put up just informational things, about services, just informational things. We're not putting up anything with any propaganda or agenda or actually pre-planned. You're welcome to go around. This is a club. You're welcome to go around and talk to the members.
Yeah, that's actually what you just said about the schizophrenic and stuff. I wouldn't figure somebody who was too schizophrenic would be reading stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, see it back off. Somebody who's actually truly interested would read it and then say, well, Sergio, I seen that guy around.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll approach him, I'll talk to him.
Right.
It's hard for me to differentiate who's really trying to, people try to hide or something, or if I speak up, even they might not exactly come to me right away. So I don't know. I figured it'd be an effective way to use this club. Natives gather here. Appears like it's in a productive path towards geared toward natives.
Yeah.
So I figured you can help me even more.
Yeah.
Put something up like that.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately, we ain't gonna be able to do it. You can try. We have United Indians in Seattle. Have you heard of these other organizations?
United
Indians of all tribes.
Mm-hmm.
There's 3 other great nonprofits in Seattle that might welcome your posters. United Indians of all tribes, Seattle Indian Health Board, the Indian Center.
All right, I'm gonna check those out, Shirley. This is most kind of one's more of an obligation to just talk to whoever is in charge of this place and just tell what would happen, because it's kind of serious. What I just told, if you would have told me this 6 or 7 years ago, I would say, wow, that's ridiculous. It's like something you only read in some weird novel.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm going through. I don't know. I'm not looking for a shoulder to cry on here. I just had to inform you exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
Kind of involves the American individual, the American society in general. If you have that type of surveillance, monitoring going on. All I merely did was just speak up about something. I got targeted.
Yeah.
I was actually quite interested in seeing what others have to think about that. I'm at a loss for words, because I'll be honest, I don't know you well enough, Sergio. I don't know what I say. I don't want you to harm yourself. I don't want you to. No, no self-harm here. Of course, when we talk about government, especially being Native people, they do wicked things. They're wicked people. I will tell you honestly, though, most times, being in the field I'm in, but most times, most people who do come to me, and they're usually, it's more of a paranoia thing. It's not usually, if you're Peltier, Dennis Banks, people on that level, Russell Means, people who are influencing whole communities to empower them and rise up as people. Of course, the government's probably surveillancing them. I'll give you my life story.
I was a down out alcoholic. I had a bad meth addiction. Bad. I was doing a lot. And my family wanted to get me committed because I thought the government was following me. I thought friends were plotting to kill me. I thought all kinds of things. And it was scary. It was so real. So real. But this was my case, and this is only me, because this was meth induced. I'm not talking about anybody else out there, I'm talking about mine.
I would actually say it wasn't necessarily paranoia though.
And it took probably a couple years after I finally put it down for my brain to heal, and for the reality to like, where it stopped being so real, and it was apparent to me that it was a delusion from the meth, from that, sleep deprivation, for going 2 weeks without sleep at a time and things like that. And what I'm saying is, most of the times that people come to me and I talk to people about this kind of things, it's usually 99% of the time it's stuff like that that causes it. I'm not saying yours is, but but it puts me in a position where I gotta be mindful of what I say to you, because I don't know you well enough. I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. It's not exactly. If you actually think about that paranoia, where does that come from? Do they have a bunch of natives?
Well, from mine, it's lack of trust. Anything unhealthy in our systems, in our minds, in our bodies and spirits, anything unhealthy causes deterioration. Right? It's progressive. If you don't address it, it progresses and gets worse and worse. Just the fact of not having trust in other people is unhealthy. But there's a reason why natives automatically don't trust people, from what happened to us with the genocide, with the colonialism. But still, that is a poison in our systems about being untrusting of people. Because we should be trusting of people. We should be healthy and happy people. So that in itself could be a downward spiral, where if we don't learn why that's there, could cause us into.
I know, that's exactly my point of the fires, because a lot of that has to do with compartmentalized trauma.
Right.
No points to get built up, and it's not healthy at all. I mean, this stuff needs flow. That's why, communication, especially amongst natives, is very key. It's not the industrialization and like the compartmentalization I mentioned amongst the European white people. The way they systematically put things together is always a big machine.
Yeah.
That's the damage amongst natives.
See, if we were just running a school here, like it was a higher ed program here or something, it'd be one thing. But the fact that we are day-centered and most everybody we serve are what they call co-occurring disorder, dual diagnosis, mental health and stuff like that. We just can't take it. We can't take the chance of even one person going to get re-triggered and re-traumatized by reading your. Maybe it's somebody like I was just talking about that. Maybe they went through 10 years of this really delusional thing that thinking the president was out to get them and take them down. And maybe the last 6 months they actually got some mental health and they're working on it and they're actually progressing. And then they walk by and see your flyer. It would be bound right back to where they were, right? So we can't.
Only if that person were left alone, though. I mean, I'm around to talk to them. But the problem with that is if people get like that, get isolated. They have a lot of very noble spirits.
Yeah.
And of course, people like that try to do what they can and this goes beyond. I mean, you can break that down. The whole humanitarian aspect and just people in general try to improve the human go up instead down. So it's communication. When things start getting censored, it's kind of concerning. Especially when you read about the American freedom of speech and all that. And then if those people were not allowed to speak their mind about something insignificant, as significant as tea being taxed, there being no American republic, no American nation, they wouldn't be able to have moved forward that struggle against the British and tell them to go back to England or let them be the American natives that they wanted to be here. So I'm running council of natives. But I want the flyers up, you know, maybe try to inform people on television.
I get you, and I'm sorry, but we just can't right now.
Right now.
Yeah. But I would definitely contact the other native places that have a lot of natives go to,
Okay.
such as the Health Board, Indian Center.
Okay.